Oh, my tripod. Yes. Okay. Okay, we're good. I did not realize how high this was. Okay. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay. Okay, we are good to go. So it looks like my connection is not that good right now. I don't know why. Okay, so Quiana LaChe, personal branding strategist, and actually knows how to build and market personal brands through video and live streaming. So I'm really to be able to come and talk to this particular community. You know, hello, we're gonna be talking about building your brand like a boss. I'm gonna let you know a disclaimer about me. I don't usually like to run an itinerary because I start. I know maybe some of you have been on webinars or live streams where it just seemed very structured. I'm not a very structured person. So, if you guys interact with me, then this live stream may take a completely different direction based on what you ask, because I'm not here to just throw out information at you. I'm here to actually serve and help you guys. Okay, so feel free to ask questions as we go along. I have absolutely no problem with that. Again, I'm here to help you guys. I don't want to just spit information because that does nothing for anybody, right? So me personally, when it comes to building brands, I know for a lot of people, when they think about building a brand, they think about the fonts, they think about colors, they think about graphics, they think about all the pretty stuff, right? All the stuff that essentially does not matter at the beginning. And this is where people go wrong. They go wrong because they just think about all the things that make something visually appealing, but you can have something that's visually appealing and it has no meaning to it, right? So that's where I come in. I'm like your your ground zero. I'm the beginning step. So the way I like to explain it is this: you have this big, beautiful house, right? It's beautiful, and you've got marble floors. You've got the hey boo. You've got the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful view. You got the soaker tub with the balcony view right in front. Like you have the most beautiful house ever. And so you get up to the second story floor and you fall through the ceiling. And you fall through the ceiling because you did not have the proper structures in place to hold that type of foundation, right? For this beautiful house. Same thing applies to a brand. Same with a brand. So you're so busy focusing on making something so pretty that you don't even have the correct foundations in place, so it just falls apart. I have worked with people. I've worked with people that created courses, created businesses, created brands that the first thing they did was focus on the visual, and then they come back, right? They have to get a revamp done because they didn't even bother to take the first step, right? You have to, hello, thank you for joining. You have to crawl before you walk, right? You have to walk before you run. Same when it comes to building your brand. So I know you guys are probably like, okay, Quiana, we get that. So what are these steps? So you need to know who you're serving. That's first and foremost. Whether you're building a brand, you're building a business, whatever, you need to know who you serve, and you need to know them to a T. And I know that I've talked to people, and I'm like, so do you know your ideal client? Do you know your ideal customer? And they're like, yeah. No. So I start asking them a series of questions, and they can't answer them because you really don't truly know them. And I'm going to tell you why it's really, really important for you to take the first initial steps to going ahead and making sure that you truly know these people. Like, you have to know these people inside and out. And and here's why. Eventually, you're going to run ads. I'm just going to tell you, if you've never run an ad in your life, I'm going to tell you you're going to want to run ads, because you are not going to want to spend all of your time building organically. It is time consuming. It's time consuming. I'm telling you as someone who's been in the online space for 3 years. it is time consuming, and you are going to want to run ads because you're not going to be in front of your target market all of the time. Hi, Natasha. Thanks for joining. You know what's so funny about your name, Natasha Hagen, is that my Instagram account got hacked a couple of months ago. I went to go to my Instagram account, couldn't log in, and I logged into one of my other accounts to go pull up my account. Come to find out, my account was hacked by a Russian prostitute named Natasha Hagen. I'm not saying you're a Russian prostitute, but I just feel like that was really, really, really ironic. Okay, hey ladies, so yes, ads. Now the thing, if you've never run a Facebook ad, then there's this feature where, of course, you go ahead and you can really just put in as many insights as you can that you know about your target market. But if you don't actually know your target market, you can't do this. I remember one of my previous clients, she called me. She was like, "I'm so excited. I ran a Facebook ad." I was like, "Okay, great." I was like, so what did you put down for like your insights? And she was like, "I just have it selected on women and US." And I'm like, "So you're running an ad to literally just anybody, like anybody seeing your ad, people who are not in your target market are seeing this ad." She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You did the perfect." I was like, "Okay, so my clients get this workbook. It's 87 pages long. It's absolutely amazing." But I was like, "So you did the ideal client section of this workbook?" And she was like, "Yes." I was like, "So I need you to go back to that and take everything that you know about your target market, your ideal client, your ideal customer, and put that in for your Facebook ads." And when she did that, then that's when she started seeing results. Before, she was just like, "Okay." When you don't know your target market, you can't even talk to them, right? You don't know how to talk to them. You don't know what their pain points are. You don't know what their desires are. You don't know what keeps them up at night. Hey, Alley Cat. Oh my God, I love that name. You don't know what keeps them up at night. This is why it's so important for you to know your target market. These are foundational elements of you building a brand, right? We're not going to making stuff look pretty. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that, right? Before you can even do all of that, you got to make sure you know who you're even talking to. Okay, so some things that I would even say to try to think about are like, what are their favorite TV shows? Like, I know for me, like one of my favorite TV shows to the day I die would be Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl came out when I was 16. I've been obsessed with it. I still watch it to this day. I will get on Netflix and I'll still watch Gossip Girl. But my target market doesn't really know who Gossip Girl is. And I know that because I surveyed them. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. So while I would sit there and want to make all of these Gossip Girl analogies and everything else like that, my target market would be like, what the hell is she talking about? Right? So that's why I say you have to know them. Don't think that just because you're a little lost. Okay, Natasha, we're talking about the foundational elements of building your brand. You want to build your brand like a boss. So we're not talking about making stuff look pretty. We're not talking fonts, graphics, all of the pretty stuff, website, all that other stuff. We're talking about the foundational stuff that people overlook, which is why their brand does not stand out to people, which is why their brand does not speak to anyone, which is why their brand is not bankable. Okay? So that's where we're at. So for one of the first parts, I'm talking about you needing to know your target market, if that makes sense. Okay, you need to know who you're speaking to. So, yes, yes, I love Gossip Girl. Okay, so I would find out like what kind of books they like. I would find out their kind of TV shows because you can make reference to that kind of things in your marketing materials. Okay, so knowing that kind of stuff about your target market. Do they have, your people in your target market, do they have kids? Are they married? Do they live by the beach? Do they live in the mountains? Like, just knowing that kind of stuff really helps you to be able to become effective communicators, right? I know my target market is women of color with preferably natural hair. I can really relate to them, but I also know I know how to talk to them, okay? Next, a brand story. A lot of people don't have a story to tell, and so you're boring. Sorry. Can you see me? Because I feel like I can't see me from the comments that are rolling up. Let me see if I can. Okay. Perfect. Brand story is another part of your brand. Brand, right? So, if you pay attention to most influencers, most brand influencers, they have a story that they tell. Like I know Kimber Luna has this story, and I could literally repeat it if I felt like it. But it's the same story that she tells at the beginning of every one of her webinars. You need to have a brand story, and your brand story is usually the story that you tell that takes you from your beginnings to through whatever transformation to how you got to where you are. That's usually how your brand story works. If you have not gotten to a point of success where you're for you to be able to share, you can just share whatever part of your journey you want to share. So for me, when I talk about my brand story, I say, hey, you know what? I lost my job, I lost my car, I lost everything. So the only thing I could do was turn to online. And yes, no, your why and your brand story are two different things to me. Your why is why, of course, why you're doing what it is that you're doing, your desire, your main desire. But your brand story is really how you're going to be able to relate to people. So that's why I say, like, for my brand story, it's like, I lost my job, I lost my car. People can relate to that. People can relate to that right off bat, right? Feeling like they had nowhere to turn. People can relate to that. And so I turned to online marketing. I literally found a free company online. It was a CPA company. It was like, hey, you sign up, you do 2 free trials do 2 free trials. People really do want to know your story. It helps with creating relationships. You're exactly right. I did 2 free trials, and they were like, get people to do the same thing. We'll pay you $20. When I tell you, I was like, all I gotta do is what? I gotta do what? Shoot, I was on it like white on rice. I was on it. They provided a training portal. I was sitting in my bed with my laptop and my notebook going through that training like there was no tomorrow. And that's how I got started with online marketing. I have done it all, you guys. I've built websites from scratch. I have done the online marketing. I've done marketing on Craigslist. I've made money from Snapchat. I can build up Instagram accounts. When my Instagram account got hacked, as I was telling Natasha, I had to start a brand new one. 700 new followers in the first month. One of my other students got 500 her first 2 weeks following the training that I gave her. Like, I've done so much, so I have so much to give. But that's like my brand story. And so people can relate to that beginning because they've been there. They've either lost things or they felt hopeless and lost. And so it's good for you to curate your own brand story. One of my mentors, her brand story is more like, she's really into fitness. And there was something wrong with her heart. Authenticity, yes, exactly. There was something wrong with her heart when she was born. And so they had to do some kind of surgery. And so she has a scar on her chest from her surgery. And part of her brand story is this. The doctors told her point blank that she would never be able to do physical activity. And here she is getting ready for her bikini model competition. Bikini fitness model competition. So, so you also want to make sure for your brand that you're thinking about your values and your morals. So important. So important because as Tanisha, I hope I said your name right, when she's talking about authenticity, you really have to be able to stand strong in what you value and how you feel about certain things. So I know there are some brands that I follow, some personal brands that I follow, and even mine myself, who will speak up about the injustices that we see. As we just saw, what was it, yesterday? Another unarmed black man getting shot. Some people feel like because they have a personal brand that they shouldn't speak up about those kinds of things. Not me. I'm going to voice my opinion if that's what I choose to do. And that is the beauty of actually having your own personal brand, is that you can stand up for the things that you truly, feel deeply for, right? So, again, a couple people, they had to get the block. I had a block party on a few people on my friends list because they just, being ignorant towards it. But at the same time, again, it's my personal brand, and that's one of my values, my morals. I value human life, and I don't believe anybody should ever say, had he just done what the officer said. That's not, that's we're not even going to put that at the same level of not valuing someone's life. Also, another thing, and I wish, I wish I would have brought my business cards, because this is so important to me. There is a time, and this still goes on. There are black women who feel like they should not put their face on their business cards. My face is like half of my business card, okay? Because they feel as if they go to a networking event and they hand somebody Caucasian their business card, right? Person might forget you're at a networking event. Of course, you're networking, you're getting a whole bunch of business cards. But they come across your business card again and they see your black face. They're not going to want to work with you. And my thing is this. If someone does not want to work with you because of the color of your skin, then that's not someone you want to do business with. You don't want you don't want their money. You don't want it. So why should it matter, right? You know, yeah, see? It baffles me, and it kind of hurts me here, because it's like, you just really want to be authentic, and you just really want to be who you are, and you should not apologize for it. Ever. I don't ever want you to apologize for being who you are, especially when it comes to your personal brand, right? Another one of the women I follow, she says all the time, she's like, if I had $1 for every time someone messaged me or replied to one of my emails saying that the word fuck is unprofessional, I would be at $1 million already. But that's her. That's her, and that's her brand. Do not apologize ever for being who you are. Okay? Like, I want you guys to understand that. If you want to put your face on your business cards, put your face on your business cards. If you want to stand up for social injustice, then stand up for social injustice. If you feel like saying the F word helps to enhance the message that you're trying to convey, then throw F-bombs all over the place. If that's what you choose to do, and that's who you are, and you're being truly authentic. Hey, Dorothy, thanks for joining. There was a time where I used to try to be so prim and so polished. Like, I didn't even want to take my photos unless my hair was straightened. And that's a whole nother topic we're not going to get into. But I was not trying to be authentic. I was too busy trying to be Melanie Duncan. If you don't know who Melanie Duncan is, I'm just going to need you to go ahead and look her up. But I was not being authentic to who I was. And it showed in my business. It definitely showed in my bank account. I was not being me, and because I was not being me, I wasn't even attracting my tribe. They say that your vibe attracts your tribe. Yes. No, never apologize. But, I was not trying to be me. And the reason why it made it even harder is because when I got into this online space, I did not see anybody that looked like me. And it was very discouraging. It was very discouraging. That's why, and I really want to say, give a really, really big shout out to Renetta, and I hope that I'm saying your name right, because, again, when I got into this online space, I saw no one that looked like me. No one. No one had big, puffy hair, brown skin, none of that. And it was very discouraging. It was very discouraging. And so at a first glance, it felt like I needed to be someone I wasn't in order to be able to succeed in my industry. I saw this one old dude classmate telling everyone on his page, stop letting people know your business is a black business. I was like, why other races let you know their races on their businesses? Wait, see more. I got to see this. By filling in their language and culture, why as black people do we have to... I really, Veronica, I wish I could tell you, girl. I wish I could tell you. It makes no sense to me either. It makes absolutely no sense to me either. And Again, if someone does not want to work with you because of the color of their skin, it's just stupid. It's ridiculous, you know? It really is. But I would love to see more brown women. I'm not even going to say like black, like just African American, but more brown women. So if they're Middle Eastern, if they're, you know, of South American descent, just brown women in general, standing up, standing out, and moving forward and helping to build other women up. It would just make me smile so much. And we have a lot of work to do. I know y'all know that we ain't got that many stock photos. You know we don't have that many stock photos. So, you know, we actually, you know, instead of, and here, and I was literally thinking about this earlier. I was thinking about this earlier because I had the opportunity to talk to Renette a little bit earlier. And I was talking about how there was a blog article that I wrote dedicated to some African or some black women that were killing it online in business. And I was like, you know, we cannot expect people of other races and cultures to stand up and acknowledge us and give us opportunity. We have to take and seize that opportunity for ourselves. Okay? So, it is getting a little bit later. 22 minutes. Hey, you know, Empire coming on tonight. I don't want to see any of them posts that say, while you were too busy watching Empire, I was building mine. I don't want to hear that. Empire coming on at 9 o'clock, y'all. But I really, really hope that you guys gain some wonderful insight. And I want to let you guys know that I have a membership site called the Ladypreneur Society. And since I have been online for 3 years doing so much marketing, everything that I've been learning, I am putting into a centralized location. And so what I want to do for you ladies for being absolutely awesome is just allow you guys the opportunity to come join us, right? And it is actually usually $19.99 a month, but because you guys are so awesome, if you actually just use the code BYBLAB, which stands for Build Your Brand Like a Boss. I know that's like extra long. Then you can get in for $12.99. Really check it out. Again, this is the same place where, you know, I had the student that got her 500 new Instagram followers in 2 weeks. I teach you how to make money on Snapchat. You know, if you don't have a website, but you do have a domain, I even teach you how to create an optimized coming soon page. I show you how to structure a blog post for success. Like I have a blog post that's gotten over 100 shares, so I can show you exactly, like, it's not a lot, it's not anything to it. It's video tutorials, okay, but I also make sure that I have worksheets and little mini workbooks that go along with it, because my thing is this: I don't want you to join just to be in it and you watch the videos and you don't do nothing, because that does nothing for you and it does nothing for me, right? I don't want you to come up on my membership site talking about, well, I didn't learn anything because you didn't implement. That's like my biggest pet peeve. So if you decide to come roll with us and rock with us, you know, make sure that you are actually putting forth the effort to do the work, so that way you actually do get the results. I want you to get results. And here's the thing: I didn't create this as a space so that I could just get a whole bunch of people in it, because if you join today and you're in my membership site a year later, I'm going to fuss at you because you shouldn't be. Because this is just for solopreneurs. If you're running and operating an online business by yourself, this is for you. If you have a team, this is not for you. I mean, unless you want to pick up a little bit of marketing, stuff along the way. But this is specifically for solopreneurs. If you're running a business by yourself, trust me, I understand how hard it can be, especially in the beginning, especially if you don't know a lot of different skills. So again, I build websites. I know some graphic design. I'm going to tell you this because I dated a graphic designer for like 2 years. I picked up a lot. You know, again, thank you. And I just started vlogging. And I'm actually challenging myself to do my vlogging strictly from my phone, because I'm using Adobe Clip and I'm using Filmora Go. And so after I've done like a straight consistent month of vlogging and editing just from my phone, I want to do like a really, really bomb tutorial on how to do so, because I know, I have a Mac, I have a MacBook. Everybody doesn't have a MacBook. And my thing is, when it comes to teaching people how to do stuff, I really try to teach from a more cost efficient standpoint. Okay, so even if you want to get into email marketing, I show you how to use MailChimp. I even show you how to turn a sign up form into a survey form. So if you want to go ahead and start cranking out surveys, you can turn a sign up form into anything you want it to be and still be able to collect emails. I show you. And I have a habit, because I am a personal branding coach and I'm a strategist. So I tend to have, I tend to turn my tutorials into strategy sessions. And so even with, learning different strategies for using a thank you page, your thank you page and your confirmation success pages, after someone opts in for your email, do you know that you guys are abusing those? You guys are abusing those. Your confirmation success page is literally the most important page of your funnel, and you don't even realize it. You are leaving money on the table by not utilizing your thank you page and your confirmation success page. And I walk through all of that also in the Ladypreneur Society. So again, if you scroll up, theladypreneursociety.com, use the code BYBLAB, Build Your Brand Like a Boss, to get, $7 off, so it'll be $12.99 per month. We're also going to be having Zoom master classes where there's going to be like office hours, so you can go through the material. We have a private Facebook group. You can ask me in there, or you can even wait until we do the Zoom. I'll be able to talk to you like one-on-one via camera or audio, and you can ask me your questions from there. So go ahead and check it out. If you have any other questions for me, or if you just want to keep the conversation going, you guys can tag me here in this group. You can send me a private message. I totally welcome that. I cannot wait to connect with the rest of you ladies, and go ahead and hop up in the Ladypreneur Society, because you don't have 3 years to waste. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I have a lot of notches under my belt, but if I could have learned a lot of this stuff sooner, earlier, and had the support of someone like me, does that sound like cocky? The support of someone like me. No, I'm so serious. If I would have had someone there who was willing to give me the opportunity to learn what they know, at the price point that I'm offering it at, and still be able to connect with them on a personal level for the price point that I'm offering at, I would have loved that. That would have been so amazing. That's why I created this place. That's why it's not, I've seen membership sites that are like $97 a month, $150 a month. And I'm like, I don't want that. That's not why I created this place. I didn't create this place. I didn't create this centralized hub for just monetary gain, because I've watched people literally go from having a membership site that was $25 a month, then they would bump it up to like $47 a month, then they bumped it all the way up to $97 a month, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Because if you know your target market, remember what I said at the beginning, knowing your target market. My target market for people for the Ladypreneur Society are women who were just like me when I got started. I couldn't afford shit. Remember what I told you? I lost my job, I lost my car, I lost everything. So clearly I couldn't afford $97 a month for a membership site. I couldn't afford $5,000 every 3 months for coaching. I could not afford that stuff. So that's why the Ladypreneur Society is always going to be lower cost. So I cannot wait to see you ladies in there, and I hope that you have a blessed night.